found myself convinced the other day that I have never seen a black person with Down syndrome. And then I got convinced
I might leave the room at this.
that black people don't get Down syndrome.
Maybe they don't.
They do. 1 out of every 10 black children in America is born with Down syndrome.
That seems like that's way too much.
No, that's seriously. Like, I think it's...
1 out of 10? That's like a bajillion people.
Wait, maybe that's...
27 million black children are mentally retarded.
Wait, that doesn't sound like the right number. I should have written down the statistic, but
You're saying
regardless,
it's high.
it refutes my. No, it's not high. It's average. It's
okay.
the same
Normal.
as the same as anyone else. But I don't think I've ever seen a black person with Down syndrome.
Well, it's because there's no black people in Malibu.
Touche, Seth. Two to the shay. I'm just saying. I haven't.
Yeah, I'm sure that those stats are like... There's like the stats that just came out that said that officials in the NBA call more fouls on black players than white players. They're trying to figure out like how they came to this, but they didn't actually look at the color of the referees. They were looking at box scores and doing an average of, theoretical total fouls. And dudes are like, you really had to do this study? You're going to stir this one up?
Doesn't make it. It doesn't work.
Don Imus did a study, and he found that in the NBA...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a black person with Down syndrome.
All right. But you looked into it, and it's the same...
Totally average.
I'm sure it's totally...
It's I would say equal to whites or Asians or whatever. But I don't think I'd ever seen one. So then I was like, wait, I wonder, because there's certain, certain peoples that are impervious to things, right, that other peoples aren't. I'm gonna get into some fucking dark water.
You can
some dark fucking water.
All emails on the CC. Could you just kind of keep me out of this one? Should have taken a piss just then.
I'm not saying anything wrong
Just gently
right now.
place the
I'm
microphone
not saying
down.
a single thing wrong.
I
I'm just
totally
making
hear what you're
observations.
I go to UYD for my scientific studies. Where
shitty scientific studies.
Remember school kids when I told you everything you learn on UYD, when your teacher tells you it's wrong, it's right? Actually, if you're in high school and you're in any sort of like sociology class or any sort of like civics, don't quote UYD that 10% of all black children have Down syndrome. Please don't do that.
I'm going to find out exactly what the number was.
No, excuse me, teacher. I was listening to a podcast, a scientific podcast. I found it on the iTunes under science podcasts. And apparently 11.5%, or 11.4 to be precise, that's what they said, of all African-American children born on the West Coast have gay Down syndrome peanut allergy babies. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I stand corrected. Excuse me. That's 0.01 of a... No, I'm sure it's... I know what you're saying, though. Some races and some peoples indigenous to some things are immune to certain...
Impervious.
Impervious.
Even that word sounds loaded for some reason.
Let's
right
get it
now.
out.
How about hip hop song of the week? Down syndrome is the trisomy of chromosome 21. It's the most common trisomy. Is that the right pronunciation?
I'm not sure.
Among live births. The syndrome was named after Langdon Down, and the frequency...
Let's talk about the frequency.
In the U.S., in Caucasian and African American populations, the incidence rate is 1 per 600 to 700 live births. Internationally, in the Japanese population, the incidence is 1 per 700 births.
So in the U.S., in African American and Caucasian children, it's 1 in 600 to 700. Not, as I believe you stated, in the black community alone, 1 in 10.
1 of every 10.
I thought about that. I was like, if you into like a...
I think what you said to me was, I said 1 in 10, and you said, John, those are terrible odds. And I think I may have even said, I know, it's really sad.
Well, you said it so sincerely. I didn't even think about that until I was driving, and I was like, thinking if it was one, if I was, so that's like if I was in like a Starbucks, like in you know, maybe like an African American neighborhood, there'd be like 4 retarded kids in the Starbucks. I'd be like, this is a crazy Starbucks. There's like 4 retarded people in here.
It would be insane.
It'd be crazy Starbucks.
But what I was trying to say is that not only that African Americans, it's 1 in 10, but 1 in 10 whites as well. It just means the whole world would basically be retarded.
That's what I said. It'd be like millions of like, man.
But wouldn't it be a little bit a better place?
I think it would be a better place to be more tolerance.
Yeah.
You know? People stop being so goddamn selfish.
It's true.
Fuck, man.
So that's my Down syndrome clear up.